Don't forget to like, subscribe and share the videos.
So, hello all, and I am Nikhil. I'll be taking a special session today based on this particular topic, that is National Mission for Manuscripts. So, National Mission for Manuscripts, okay, it was a mission launched in the year, as given year 2003. When was it actually established and given? It was actually started during the tenure of Prime Minister Shri Atal Bihari Vajpayee. So, what and why is it relevant to this particular context? Because a few days ago, what happened was during the session in the Rajya Sabha, so it was put forward by the Union Minister of Tourism and Culture, that is Shri Gajendra Singh Shekhawat. So he was telling about the importance of the need to preserve manuscripts, and he said the present government, okay, which coincidentally is a BJP rule government, okay, they have started to give importance to the National Mission of Manuscripts, which again coincidentally was started in 2003 by the BJP-led union government. So yes. Now moving on, a few more points about the National Mission for Manuscripts. So the National Mission for Manuscripts, okay, as we all know, it was established by the Union Ministry of Tourism and Culture. So, and why manuscripts? Why is there a need to preserve manuscripts? So, one important reason is this: manuscripts are a source of vital information. So, even though a lot of scholars of history and historiography, like they have debated the use of manuscripts, and various discussions are there pertaining to how authentic manuscripts are, because you see, manuscripts are sources of information written by the elite of the yesteryear society for the elite of the future society. So yes, so it is a known information that back in those days, most of the common folk were of the peasantry class. So the peasantry class were by default the illiterate populace. Okay, so there has been debate about whether written manuscripts, whether they portray the authentic information about how society functioned, because more or less manuscripts are nothing but they contain vital information as to how governance functioned and how land grants were given, in the sense. And also manuscripts also contains eulogies. So what are eulogies? Eulogies are sometimes written by court poets under the patronage of royal monarchs such as kings and emperors and dukes and so on. So they wrote about their patrons, their wealthy patrons. So there was always a chance of bias. But again, even though there have been constant debates about the authenticity of manuscripts, whether they do provide the absolute information about the period of time, but since most of the information about certain periods of time in history have been lost, so manuscripts are considered one of the many information that can be considered, even though they have to be taken with a pinch of salt. And what are the other sources of information about history? So there are archaeological sites, number one. So we can also consider art, cave paintings, and uh, these scripts that have been inculcated into rocks, like rock edicts of Ashoka and all that. But they say archaeological digs are the better way of finding out true history, because you tend to know how actually the common folk work, whether there's a tendency to portray certain eras in the history as golden periods or golden ages. So, for whom was it actually golden? Was it for the cream of the society, or was it for the common folk? Yeah, but without further ado, I will explain more about this. Now, one great thing is, India alone, according to the information provided by the National Mission for Manuscripts, contains almost more than 5 million. So, there's an estimate around 10 million manuscripts, which is considered to be the highest number of manuscripts in the world. So, across the subcontinent, various different kinds of manuscripts have been found in the subcontinent, and the mission to collect those manuscripts and preserve them falls under this National Mission for Manuscripts. Yes, and also another reason for why this mission exists is that they kind of talk about why and how there are different themes in the manuscripts, and the texture of the manuscript. Like, what do you mean by texture? Like textures, relating to the quality of manuscript, whether it was written in this palm script, or whether it was written in a papyrus or a very old quality form of paper, whether it was written on tree barks. Okay, so certain kind of written material can be extracted from the barks of trees, and also I believe from leather. Okay, such as the Dead Sea Scrolls, which was discovered in the 1940s. They were very old manuscripts which were written on rolls of leather and so on. And aesthetics. So aesthetics also talks about each and every author has a different style. So based on which writing experts in the archaeological department can figure out who might the author be and which period he or she belongs to. Okay, so yes, and scripts and languages, calligraphies, illuminations and illustrations. So all of these come under the contents of a manuscript. So scripts and languages, sometimes each language can have different script across a period of time. Now, for example, when we talk about Tamil, so Tamil, thousands of years ago, probably 2000 years ago, the script of Tamil is not as what it is right now. Earlier, there was the Tamil, ancient Tamil used what has now been called as Tamil Brahmi script. Okay, and even Prakrit, that has been written in many edicts, rock edicts by Ashoka, even they used Prakrit Brahmi scripts. So scripts, okay, so each scripts can be used for different languages, and that can be one script for different languages, and each language can also have different scripts depending upon the place, time and region, and also depending upon which language is the ultimate lingua franca of the day. Yes, and so calligraphies, illuminations and illustrations. So these are all ways in which history or information was recorded in the manuscript. So one reason or one objective of the National Mission for Manuscripts is to locate, document, preserve, and make sure that these manuscripts are accessible. So these are the responsibilities of people working under the National Mission for Manuscript. So let me go to the next slide. And yes, so how do they locate manuscripts? That is through National level survey and post survey. So there are certain things that they do to survey, locate, and extract the manuscript, and after that, most of the manuscripts are not found in good conditions because they have been stored in many private collectory facilities for decades and even centuries and left to neglect. So some of them might be half rotten. Because of that, there's a need to do post survey methods of preserving those manuscripts and document each and every manuscript. And yes, so document them. Now there is a need to digitalize them as well. So that in the internet, all these manuscripts, the information given in these manuscripts are available to the public. So not only to the Indian public but also to the rest of the people in the world, because these are all ways in which knowledge is transferred and exchanged. So conserve manuscripts. So as I told, like, conservation comes in the post-survey part of dealing with the manuscripts. Okay. Then also to train the next generation of scholars. So one is to, like, so because each and every generation of scholars or people working in a particular field, they have their own way of doing. So sometimes they have to train the upcoming scholars, and the upcoming scholars also come up with new technologies that can be used for that place that they work for. So there's a blend of both old and new. So further objectives like digitizing, yes, we discussed about that. So, and to promote. So it's not just important to preserve them or conserve them, but also to publicize, to let people know how manuscripts are important and how they can be used as a lens to look at history. And to, yes, then how do they publicize? Like by engaging with the public. So like if you can remember, I think around 2010, I believe, the government of Tamil Nadu then held the Semmoli Manad. So that was one of the way in which the government sort of made the public engage with the literary and cultural traditions of the state of Tamil Nadu. So that was one way. I know they showed a lot of manuscripts, so through which the public was able to see, access, and share with each other the ways the ways, and discuss how inspiring or how wondrous these manuscripts are, and they can know more about their culture and language and their past than they ever did before. Yes, what is the motto? So motto is just conserving the past for the future. Now there is, I think this would basically be from a famous poem that was composed by a poet called Edmund Burke. The Edmund Burke, in one of his poems, he says, like, it is important to learn about the past so that some of the events do not repeat during the present. Okay, so yes, so we need to conserve, we need to know the past so that we can adapt certain things from them and also not adapt certain things from them based on how we look at them. So yes. And what are the challenges? Of course, missions such as this and archaeological missions, all that, they have their own challenges, because nobody knows the importance of history unless or until someone comes in access with that. And also there are multiple agendas related to it also, like whether it caters to the current socio-political environment and situations. So let's see. So what are the challenges that this mission currently faces? Okay. So one of the challenges is that there were many ancient languages in which the manuscript was read, was composed, and there have been no active speakers of such languages. So, for example, even now we do not have the speakers of language which was found, that was spoken around many years back. So, for example, Prakrit, Pali, Magadhi, and Vaishali, and all, like, these are all languages that were spoken in the Gangetic plains during the time of the Nandas, the Mauryas, and the uh, and the dynasties that followed. Yes, so, like, they were found in different repositories in different locations, and many of them, as I've told you earlier, they are very difficult to locate because most of them are found in uh, these like private collections of wealthy individuals, like, and even those individuals whose forefathers might have collected those manuscripts would not know the importance of it at present, so they might be just sitting and rotting and all that. So it is getting increasingly difficult to locate such manuscripts as well. So yes, so they have been neglected for decades, and the problem is they have been insect ridden, fungus infected, and like, what happens is, even when you touch it without being careful, it fades away, it melts. So that is the issue. There are furthermore challenges. Okay, so we can locate the type of knowledge that was being prevalent in the past, and sometimes it can be used to situate the present. So yes, so looking at the present through the lens of the past and vice versa, and yeah, whether or not it is relevant or not, that is up to people to decide. But of course, things such as medicines, Ayurveda, Siddha, okay, and all important documents about about medicine, astronomy, mathematics, in universities of the past, such as Nalanda and Takshashila. They were such manuscripts are not found because of them being burnt, and like they being dispersed throughout various parts of the continent. But let's see. So it is a vast challenge ahead. So these are what manuscript is. So as I told you, like, one particular language has multiple did have multiple scripts. For example, Sanskrit was written in multiple scripts at various points of time, like Oriya script, Grantha script, and Devanagari script, like which happened during the Gupta period, and also even in Tamil, I think in places such as Ramnad, when during the 7th or 8th and 9th centuries, when there were traders from West Asia who came and settled in the coastal regions of the peninsula. So the incantations in various mosques were written in Tamil scripts, and also like vice versa. So there was Tamil words written in Arabic script. So you see, for different group of people, they use one particular language in different scripts, and also different scripts for one language. So depending on the region, place, and time. So how do they select manuscripts? So whether it is a heritage, whether it explains or informs about the heritage of the past, and whether it contributes to India's intellectual history, and whether it's in a state of vulnerability, whether it's in decay, or whether there's an urgent need to conserve and protect them, and whether it belongs to ancient or medieval past. So anywhere between, let's say, 300 years and above, okay, any information regarding that is considered to be a manuscript. Yes. So So these are the major repositories found in different parts of India, such as Saraswati Mahal Library in Tanjavur, which was very famously, it was one of the private collections of the Maratha rulers who ruled Tamil Nadu before it was taken over by the Nawab of Arcot. So yes, so like people like Saroji the second and all those Maratha rulers of Tanjore who captured Tanjore from the Nayakas of Tanjore. So like it was under their collection, and various other things like other repositories. University of Calcutta has a very important repository, and yes, Rajasthan Oriental Research Institute, which I have been before, and Rampur Raza Library in Rampur, UP, which has or which contains manuscripts, which has like information about different eras of the Gangetic Plain, the urbanization of Gangetic Plain. That has been written in Magadhi, Prakrit, and what else? Vriji language. These are all, and Maithili, which is currently endangered. It has not been extinct, but it is getting endangered. So all these scripts are found in that library. So yes, I think we are done for the lecture, and thank you so much.